So I have no real wish or desire to do anything much today, so I thought I would perhaps try and watch this. I know I get very bored of The Matrix very easily, so I'm not sure if I'll last, but I'll take a look and see, because I know for a fact I've never seen the one where he's wearing the black jacket with all the facial hair, so I think it'll be a little bit taxing for me because I got bored of Matrix by the second one. But I'll try and watch it. So if you're wondering what the CD looks like, it's green with some little writings that runs down. So my CD just goes in like that. The funniest thing is though, I used to think the new age computers didn't have CDs in them. And so I kept on being told you can buy external CD players, but most of them actually do. They're just hidden a little bit more, and you're like going, how many times have I bought an external CD player? This is virtually the condition of my earphones. I just realized today that they really suck. So I'm probably gonna get more ear cover things. I do find this computer so slow. It takes forever for things to open, and I get very narky very easily. Okay, so this seems to be like the title page. We have all your options. So you just play it. I'm not sure. I think maybe I should get a drink or something. There you go. It's a Warner Brothers film. I know this film was a bit of it was filmed in Sydney. I was actually working in Sydney at some stage, and I got to see a little bit of the set while I was there. So this is your classic beginning. Okay, and it starts as it usually starts with the information being typed on a computer. So this is supposed to go for like 2.5 hours. Character name Bugs. So they're buying coffee. He is a Thomas someone, and he just met Trinity, and they don't know each other for some reason. Probably explains it in the previous one, but I haven't seen that recently, so I wouldn't know. I thought it was strange that they mentioned that Warner Brothers wanted another version of the movie, and you're like going, that's weird to have in a movie. It's like, apparently Warner Brothers said, "Oh, do the new sequel or lose your original contract or whatever," so they're feeling like pressured that they have to return to the Matrix. I thought it was an illusion before. I thought he looked kind of old in 1 second, and then like himself in another second, but it's not a mistake or figment or imagination. You look at him and he's like taking prescription, and then he looks old on the side mirror for some reason. It's like something to do with whatever the plot is gonna see. That's him in the mirror, and then that's him, and it's like something to do with some sort of aging or illusion or something is gonna yet to span out in the movie. So he and Trinity both looking pretty old, and whenever they pass each other they notice each other, but they don't talk to each other for some reason. And they're talking about the Matrix like it's some sort of franchise, and I'm like I said, I didn't see the previous one, so I don't really know what they're talking about, but it's still getting there. They're looking pretty worse for it, and you're like going, is the reason for all the drugs that they're tossing around? And I think he created a video game, which doesn't really make sense because they're talking about a sequel as though it's like a movie, but anyway. apparently he developed a video game that was like The Matrix. And at the beginning he was playing on a computer on something that had like Matrix writings all the way down all over buildings and everything. And it's like, oh, did he develop a game based on the Matrix? And it's like, oh. I almost get it, but I don't really. For some reason, Morpheus is extra young. And I think he sort of thinks he's created a cloned version of him or something. So the guy who was his like psychologist or publicist or whatever, he's an ex-government embodiment of an ex-government officer that used to hunt Neo. So this is now in a psychologist office. He's seeing a shrink for some reason. So he's totally drunk and he's gonna try and fly. It's like he's saying, like, free my mind, and he's gonna obviously try and jump off a huge skyscraper to fly to the clouds. I'm waiting for him to do a super jump to the clouds. Obviously. Walk through a door, ended up in Tokyo. So this is some sort of altered DSI, which is like, I don't know, digital reality or something. So the red pill is the key to opening your altered reality. As a psychologist, he's trying to say that there's nothing real. So I don't know what this is, whether they're being reborn or whether they just were having an illusion while they were in a reborn coma kind of aspect. I think they're being reborn now. I don't know. These scenes always make me feel quite uncomfortable. These rebirth kind of scenes with the fetuses and the everything attached to his skin. So he's apparently in the real world, which is now the Matrix, I think. Or they're now discussing the aspect of reality and fiction, because he changed his memories into some fictional game, and now they're like his brains are hooked to some sort of the Matrix, and now they're just showing altered reality, I think. And now Morpheus is saying, fight me in this dojo. It's probably gonna teach him expert martial arts or something. So this dojo is also altered reality. He's actually hooked onto a machine while in a coma. I just discovered they're in a special hideout called IOS. I'm getting a bit tired. I'm only halfway through. Yeah, he just said, is it true you could once fly? And he said yes. But there's some sort of mystery around Trinity. She's some sort of prisoner for some reason. I have no idea why. Maybe that's why she doesn't really remember him very well, but yeah, it's sort of strange, the concept. I'm still getting used to. That's Morpheus. So this is the new Agent Smith. He looks a little different. So does Morpheus though. For some reason the new Agent Smith reminds me of Harvey, whoever played Superman. I don't think it is. But it sort of looked like him in it, a couple of little things. I think it's just the angle. So I don't think I can watch all this at one stage. I've got an hour left, and I'm like, I don't think I can do it. But I'm noticing that he has a very sensitive personality in this one. So it's almost like, if in the future he might be like a Jesus-y kind of character, because he comes across as very, it's either very disturbed, but he does look like kind of Jesuit in some way, because he does a little bit, whenever he motions for someone to stop, he takes out his hand and reaches out, and the long hair is sort of making him seem a little Jesus-like. And you're like, if they have a future one, what's that going to be like? Is it some sort of, growth on that idea of, say, immortality or something, or Jesuit topic? But I don't know. It's just, and I thought while I'm looking at it, but I can't just watch it. So that's his psychologist, I think. He's saying, yeah, his psychologist is being introduced as the evil character. So he's like a clone version of himself or something. I wish I could watch it all, but I'm literally like falling asleep. So the psychologist is discussing as though Neon and Trinity is like an eon, like separate. They're kind of dead together. There's some sort of discovery of chemistry, more than chemistry, but he's explaining it. So the psychologist can put things in super slow motion. So they're now talking about resurrection pods. So I would ultimately say this movie is watchable. It's sort of adding a lot of elements that make you guess what the meaning is. They don't give it to you all at one time and have you experience it. It's more like one scene connects to the other, so presenting a new piece of information for you to chew on before it goes to the next segment. So it's not like directly Matrix themed. It's sort of got a lot of little things in it to keep you alert. Got little machines gulping down the fetuses to transport them, I guess. Hopefully it's not like a new version of stem cell research. This is Morpheus. For some reason, I didn't really sure why he's turned into sort of that kind of version of him, electronic. He just suddenly appeared like that, and you're like going, okay. But apparently when he's in the Matrix, Morpheus is like this weird electronic version. It doesn't really make sense why he is, but he just seems to be. he's sort of saying that he never really believed that he was the one, but others did, especially Trinity. And that's why he's sort of convincing himself that maybe he should be. But he hasn't come to the realization yet of why he would be or should be. So I don't know what this is. She's coming back. Maybe. She's apparently married to the psychologist, so... And... She... No idea what's going to happen next. So they're both sitting down at a table talking about mushy emotions. I don't really get it. That's her husband. So she has responsibility. She has to go, so they can't match each other in some way, separating. The doctor who was that woman just said Nia was wrong. They're not gonna join like they're supposed to join to make some superpower or something. Or maybe he's like supposed to be her one, like the one is like her one. Maybe they're supposed to be like destiny lovers to be super nova kind of aspect, but I don't know. Will she go or will she stay? Alright, now she's fighting her husband. She's breaking free and yeah. So he was gonna be like overcome, but now they have a reason to fight because they can fight together or something. We'll see what they do. They're finding it hard to... There you go, that's a supernova power. Alright, let's see if he can fly. No. They're being approached by, I think, clones. I don't know if they're clones or counterattack, but whatever it is, it was a big mob of vengeful people that they just ran away from. That was a machine. A machine. It's sort of a transport machine and can carry stuff around, help out. Alright, they're in the motorbike now. Getting away from all these weird ass people. That was a cool visual effects. He does some sort of superpower comes out of his hand, and he just crushed the front of a car. Oh, I get it now. The people who are attacking are the people who have been overcome by the Matrix. The Matrix runs in their eyes, and they're like sort of I don't know. They're sort of been matrixed into being evil or an attacker. So they're virtually like falling out of buildings, running up the street, just coming from everywhere. Another car effect. Sure. Here's a look at the Matrix eyes. Oh, they just did a really good super close up of Matrix eyes. Now a helicopter. I think they're gonna. They just joined hands, so I was like, are they gonna like totally explode that far away? But I don't know. Alright, they joined hands. They're in the midst of this flaming rubble. Oh no, they're not gonna do a supernova trick. I thought it was gonna be like fan out. It's gotta lead to something, some sort of peak climax of some counterattack to make them kind of win. They always head up to the roof, so they're heading up to the roof and there's a helicopter. Okay. Jing jing. He's fighting all the bullets with the energy off his hands. It counterattacks and makes the bullets falls. Shoom. There's one torpedo. Big explosion. For some reason they keep showing these birds and they're like robots, but they come across as a flock of birds flying in the sky, so I just showed them. Or maybe it's like a flock of matrixes. They look like birds anyways. I didn't really know what they are. I'm not sure if that's it yet. So she just said my dream ended here, so maybe something's gonna happen. Maybe they're gonna fly up in the sky or something, I don't know. There we go, they're jumping. I don't think they're gonna make it. What were they supposed to do? He's so you just said, I'm not doing this, are you doing this? Are you being the one with the superpowers? No, possibly. She didn't really answer. It's kind of a delusion when they wake and realize, oh, I just realized I like you kind of aspect. This cat's called Deja Vu, so it's like, I don't know. It's Trinity. So she's kicking the. Oh. He just had his jaw dislocated. Oh. Yeah, so she was obviously getting back from him being kind of the corrupt. They just kicked him and then kicked him down, then clicked their fingers to like heal him. Alright, now the ends and someone's gonna fly. There they are. Flying together, super powered together. All right. I would say that that was an okay movie. I didn't see it, and it kept you sort of interested all the way through for various different reasons. And I didn't actually find them too annoying. Like previously, I found the script a little dead and the characters annoying, but this one was a little more varied, so it sort of came across as, a little bit new and retained your interest. And obviously, I wanted to give up, but I watched it till the end, so now I can turn it off and say I've watched it finally.